Hello, my name is Danielle and today we are going to talk about how to create this Japanese watercolor piece featuring bamboo and Japanese calligraphy up top. Since there are a couple different aspects to this painting, I just created an example for us to look at before we begin the lesson. So on here we can see that there's the actual bamboo, the leaves, and then the Japanese calligraphy up top. The Japanese calligraphy stands for different personal strengths or characteristics that I see in myself. So this one up top is compassion, this one is ambition, we have happiness and faith as well. Students will be given this handout here. It has Japanese symbols with the English translations below, so they can choose 2 or 3 of those to add to their paintings when the painting is complete. Other aspects of this is I have straight lines, and then we have skinnier lines to break up the portions of the bamboo, and we have the leaves, which are oval, but they're kind of pointed toward the end, and I'll show you how to create all of those different aspects when the lesson begins. First we'll go over the materials that are required to do this project. So you'll need the actual watercolor. I just bought watercolor from Hobby Lobby. It's a really inexpensive paint. You will also need 3 different size brushes as well as water. I have this about 1/4 of the way full of water, and I have 3 brush sizes in here. This one is about 3/4 of an inch, and it is flat when you turn it on its side. This one here is about 1/4 of an inch, also flat when you turn it on its side. And this here is a calligraphy paintbrush. That is about maybe 1/8 of an inch, and it is round all the way around. So those are the things that we'll need to create our masterpieces. And now I'm going to show you how to create different value in the watercolor. So when you're working with watercolor, the more water that you add to the paint, the lighter your color is going to be. So I have quite a bit of water. I can't really show you on here. Quite a bit of water on top here. So when I paint, the color is very light. And so if you're wanting to create a darker color, you just want to use less paint. Or I'm sorry, less water. You can see that it gets darker as the water goes away to the very darkest. Okay, so let's get started on the actual bamboo. So there's that. For the actual bamboo, I used the 3/4 inch brush, and I just began with a little bit of, like a medium amount of water on the paint palette, and I just created a straight line all the way down. Well, as straight as it can be. Then there are segments in between the different areas of the bamboo. So I just left a little spot open here and then created my next branch, if you will. And then you just continue that up until you want your bamboo to stop. Bamboo doesn't grow straight, it doesn't need to grow straight. So you can paint it however you feel is best. So when we're all through with that, you can move on to your medium-sized brush. The medium-sized brush is to create the notches in between the bamboo as well as the leaves. So you can just make straight lines across where the openings are. And then to create your leaves and branches, also more straight lines here. You can go out. And then, like I said, for the leaves themselves, you kind of create like an oval. You can't really see that, an oval here, but they come to a point, kind of like an eye. You can fill it in, or you can leave it blank. You can create different size leaves on there. And so that's the basic premise of it, is just the bamboo and the leaves on here. So once you're happy with your piece, you can move on to the Japanese calligraphy, which you need the smaller brush for. I would recommend using just a little bit of water The symbols can be kind of difficult to create, so the less water, the more control you have, I believe. So, if we're going to choose forgiveness here, we just copy it as is. It's just a couple different, everything on here is just shapes. So we have sort of like a half triangle here, and then another half triangle that goes on the other side. Need some more water and paint. Then we have a square on that side, a line here, and like a J going down. And then it's just smaller lines that are inside. And that's the Japanese symbol for forgiveness. And so students can do them large like that, or in the original example that I showed you, they can do them smaller and more traditional like they do in Japanese art. So that is how you create a bamboo piece. If you have any questions, feel free to ask on the forum. It was very exciting to teach you how to do this today.